Good morning and welcome back to week 4 of Earth Systems, Processes that Shape the Earth, Unit 4 for 4th grade. Last week you were beginning upon your journey in different labs on weathering and erosion, and this week you're going to finish that journey. So a lot of you to this point haven't started your presentation or your document to share with myself or whoever your teacher is, but make sure that you're keeping up to date on that, because at the end of the next week this is all going to be due. So the first thing I want you to do is make sure you have that presentation called Weathering and Erosion open, and then you're going to go to the same website as last week, and the link is right here. I'm not going to click it this time because you've seen it. Make sure that you have your activities document open to answer all the questions, and then make sure that on each of the slides for each of the remaining experiments, or I should say the labs for the presentation, you're going to answer the following questions that are listed, or the questions that are listed within the station document. So it's the same thing as last week, but you're just going to continue with the next 5 of the experiments. So make sure on that slideshow you include a picture of the experiment you're completing and the answer to the questions, and complete stations 6 through 11. Remember, if there's an experiment or two that you're not able to do because you don't have the materials, please just label it on the slide that you're not able to do that. That being said, another reminder, you can't do that for every slide because most of these you are able to do at home. A couple of the different experiments have to do with weak acids or other materials you might not have, so I do understand if you don't have those. Otherwise, definitely feel free to send me an email asking where you might be able to find some of these materials. After you complete the labs, I want you to add one more page, and you're going to answer the following questions on that page. And these are sort of the conclusions you're going to draw. So how does weather affect erosion? And I want you to use specific examples that you found in the experiments. Some of the experiments showed possible solutions to prevent erosion. What are some ideas you have to prevent erosion in the real world? And some of them could be related. And then lastly, and this is an opinion, did you enjoy this lab? And I want you to tell me yes or no, but also why. I don't just want you to say, no, Mr. Dimmers, this lab was terrible, or yes, this was great. I want you to give me a reason or two why, because in the future, I can cater it more to your needs. So definitely include that. For your literacy connection this week, you're going to complete your section on what erosion is and create your introduction and the thesis that goes along with that. And now we should have a pretty strong conclusion of what erosion is, so that's why I chose to do it this week. So make sure to have your erosion document open, and then you're going to complete your paragraph on erosion, which again is 12 to 15 sentences. I don't like having limits, so you can always go more than that, but to have a solid paragraph and include everything that you need, I would say you need at least 12 sentences. So the first thing you need to explain in this paragraph is what erosion means, and this should be 3 to 4 sentences. What are different types of erosion? And this you should be able to go on about because you actually went through 11 different labs learning about different types of erosion. And I want you to give specific examples of how erosion occurs in the real world. And again, you can refer right back to your lab. After you complete this section, I want you to think about what action you could take to either personally or as a society slow down the effects of erosion, and that's what your thesis is going to be. So that statement is going to be an action statement. And the question that you need to answer in this statement is, what can we do to slow the effects of erosion as individuals or as a society? And an example, and you can even use this, I'm not saying you can't, but you might want to change it a little bit, is I believe that people should blank to help in preventing the rapid effects of erosion. And again, think back to some of the experiments that you did because some of the answers are right there. Lastly, complete your introduction. In your introduction, you should include a fact or attention grabber, or a short story. You could even explain one of the different labs that you did that was really exciting or you enjoyed and what happened. Just a brief what this paper is going to be about. So remember, it has some different paragraphs. So you could even say throughout this paper you will be learning about blank, blank, and blank. And then that thesis statement, which is going to be the action statement.